So if you're like me and you're really interested in all the new Titan exotics that have gotten updated, you should check out this new Cadmus Ridge Lancecap setup that I've been doing. It is actually an insane amount of fun, and I'm actually using an exotic that got a bit of an update as well that really shouldn't work with this setup, but it does work really well, and I've been really enjoying it. So before I get into it, now you can follow me over on YouTube and Twitter at Birdman778. Give a thumbs up on this video. Let me know something you're interested in seeing down below, whether it's Titan, Hunter, or Warlock. Subscribe and become a member. Now, let's jump right into the setup. So first off, we're going to be using, again, that Cadmus Ridge Lancecap. It reads, Lancer's Vigil, throw diamond lances to create stasis crystals with more created by hitting bosses and vehicles. While a stasis super is equipped, rapid precision hits and precision final blows from behind a rally barricade will create a diamond lance near you. I absolutely love this because they updated it a bit to create more of those crystals whenever you hit a boss, and also it kind of lowered the bar on what a boss is considered. So this is essentially going to be any type of like soft yellow bar and up. So pretty much anything like that is going to create a bunch of crystals around it. It used to be, I think, like 1 crystal, but now it's like 2 to 3. So it's really great for creating those big shatters, and also for the fact that Diamond Lance got updated as well, and now that it can actually break stasis crystals on its own, it is just a great combo to use, especially to sit behind your barricade, which barricade also got a huge update. So now it's creating better taunt and better damage reduction all like around the board. So it's just a good option to just sit back, just, you know, pea shooter people from behind it, get those diamond lances, chuck them, create crystals, shoot those, create giant shatters on enemies. It is absolutely insane. Now, when it comes to our subclass, we're going to be using Prismatic, and to make this actually work, we have to use that Glacial Quake. But Glacial Quake is a great option just across the board because of the fact that you're able to create all those different stasis crystals. It's great for those big area effect bosses. Think of the, the servitor boss in Vesper. This is a phenomenal option because of all the just shattering and freezing and shattering and freezing it's able to create. Great against just like big bosses in general. It's a good one. It's a little awkward at times, but do know that those roaming supers are going to be getting a bit of an update here later in this episode, so we can expect this to only get better with time. Abilities, you no matter what have to have that rally barricade on, so that's not too big of a deal. For our melee, I've been using shield throw because it's just a great one to use from behind that rally barricade and able to chuck it out, and also take advantage of that overshield that just got buffed as well in Revenant. Now we're going to be able to take advantage of better health from that, and it allows us to kind of jump into the thick of it with a little bit more health in our back pocket, so that we could, be a little bit more aggressive. We're going to be going with Glacial Grenade as well for this because of the fact, this is a very big shatter focused build. We can chuck this into a crowd and be behind our rally barricade, get a couple shots off, get a, stasis lance created so that we're able to chuck that out and take advantage of those big shatters it will create. Speaking of our aspects, obviously Diamond Lance is just a really solid option. Gives us, more accessibility to those lances and creating those great frost armor for ourselves. Do know whenever you slam this down on the ground now, it will give you frost armor. So it's just a great option to have. Obviously you could have some other things like Unbreakable on, but I think this just works with the flow of the build the best. Also, we're going to be using Dranger's Lash because, one, I just enjoy the fact that this is a barricade focused build. This is a barricade focused aspect, so obviously taking advantage of it is really solid, and also bakes in that unstoppable champion stun for us so that we always have that in our back pocket. Now, when it comes to fragments we're going to be using for this setup, first up, Faceted Protection is going to be a huge one because of the fact that whenever we are surrounded by combatants, we're going to be a little bit tankier. This is great for, again, whenever you're jumping in, chucking a shield throw, getting that over shield, grabbing a stasis lance, any of that stuff. It'll just make sure that you are more tanky. Facet of Hope, whenever we have an elemental buff, we'll be able to get a better regen for our rally barricade. You should consistently have this because of the fact that you'll just be getting frost armor from our lances, but also the aspect currently is going to help work with that as well. Faceted Command, freezing or suppressing a target reloads your equipped weapons and increases their stability, aim assist, and airborne effectiveness. And then also defeating frozen or suppressed targets creates a stasis shard or void breach. Obviously just great for this setup because it'll just, allow us to constantly keep up that ammo for ourselves and also feed into that frost armor. Faceted Solitude, rapid precision hits, emits a severing blast on the target, and then while Transcendent, that's even better. Obviously great for just like reducing the damage on targets, and also the fact that this is a, precision, get a lot of headshots style build, so it just works really great for it. Facet of Purpose, whenever we pick up an Orb of Power, we're going to get a little bit more of that frost armor, so obviously good to have. Facet of Ruin increases the size and damage of the burst whenever we shatter a stasis crystal, so obviously great for this shatter focused build. Now when it comes to the weapons we're going to use for this setup, I like to use this X Dirus. If that's how you say it, I don't know. I've been pretty stupid with it. I've been really liking this just for the fact that, it's a grenade launcher overload season, so that's great with it. But also a few of the perks on this help out with that. First up, the intrinsic trait, Corrupted Nucleosynthesis. Yes, I think I said it right. This weapon enrages when dealing or taking sustained damage and gaining increased fire rate while enraged, so obviously great. You don't ever have to reload it. It's, again, kind of like a hive boomer shot, so it's like bing, 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 bing. And then the Loyal Moss perk, final blows and rapid direct hits with this weapon create a Loyal Moth. The Moth will seek out nearby targets and detonate, damaging and blinding them. So that bakes in Unstoppable for this setup as well. So, you don't really have to worry about having an Unstoppable weapon on with this. So obviously really great. And then the Catalyst Force, final weapon enrages faster while amplified, and final blows of this weapon make you amplified. So it just bakes in that easy amplification for us in this setup. I've also been running the Live Fire Scout Rifle. This is a new one for Revenant. I like it a lot because it's got that Rhyme Stealer perk. Destroying a stasis crystal or defeating a frozen target with your weapon grants you frost armor. Super easy to get that. And then also Headstone, just obviously because Headstone's going to be great for shattering crystals and damaging targets. I also just have my Edge Transit on. It's just like my most reliable grenade launcher. It's great for just like burst damage against champions. All around, just a good option. Now, when it comes to all the mods you're going to want on your armor, first up on your helmet, I'm just running a Harmonic Siphon because I'm running Glacial Quake. It'll work with that stasis weapon that I'm mainly using for the setup, and then also Special and Heavy Ammo Finder to make sure both my other weapons are, fully stocked all the time. When it comes to my arms, a Harmonic Loader, again, same thing with the, Siphon. I'm using that main Glacial Quake, so it's going to work for that. And then we're using a Focusing Strike and then a Boltering Detonation so that both my melee and my grenade are going to feed into that Rally Barricade more often. My chest piece, I'm just getting, good coverage for all the other mods for, damage reduction. But obviously this is something where if you are going into an activity that's got a lot of snipers, swap on a sniper one, melee, so on and so forth. On my legs, I'm running a Stacks on Stacks just so that I'm able to take better advantage of my armor charges. And then a recuperation, so I'm gonna pick up an Orb of Power. I'm able to get a little bit of health out of that, and then also a Stasis Weapon Surge so that I always have that extra damage on my Stasis weapon. Now, when it comes to my legs, we're going to be running an Elemental Charge because whenever we pick up those Stasis Shards, we are going to be able to possibly get an Armor Charge out of them to then feed into our Stasis Weapon Surge, so that our Stasis weapon, that Live Fire, has a little bit better damage all the time, and then a Recuperation so that whenever we pick up an Orb of Power, we're going to get a little bit of health from that. And then finally, on our class item, a Bomber, so that whenever I activate my class ability near target, I'm going to get a little bit of grenade energy back. Time dilation, so those armor charges last longer, and then also a powerful attraction, so I can pull in all those orbs around me whenever I activate my barricade. Now, when it comes to our artifact, obviously, we're going to be needing that anti-barrier scout, so that I always have coverage for that, as well as that overload for my grenade launcher. One with frost, so that while I have frost armor active, my stasis weapons will have increased reload speed and stability, so that's obviously great. Wind chill, so that whenever I get those rapid hits with my stasis weapon, I'll get some frost armor. Obviously great. Trace evidence, so that whenever I get precision hits or rapid final blows with that X Dirus, since it's going to be blinding targets, I'm going to get some ionic traces for some energy. Always great. Concussive reload, so that I'm getting weakening on targets that are hit by my grenade launcher. Hail the Storm, so that I'm able to create those giant great shatters that slow from my stasis crystals. Armor of Aramis, while armor is active, taking critical damage from combatants causes you to emit a freezing burst, obviously solid, and then Brain Freeze, so that frozen targets create that slow field around them that is going to hurt other targets. Now, if I had, obviously, one more of these perks so that I'm able to take advantage of, I would say something like Conductive Cosmic Crystal is great, or that Kinetic Impacts once it's able to get fixed. Now, we always like to talk about how this is going to be good against champions. First up for barrier, obviously we have the Scout Rifle to take advantage of it this season, so really solid there. Unstoppable, we have Suspension, we have Shatter, and we have Blind all in this build, so able to handle that. And then finally with Overload, we're going to have slow effects from those, frozen targets that are gonna be on the map. So if they go through that, it'll obviously slow them down. But obviously, the Exteris itself, just hitting them with it, should be able to do that. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys really enjoy it. Again, let me know something you're interested in seeing down below, whether it's Titan Hunter or Warlock. Subscribe and become a member. Give a thumbs up on the video because it obviously really helps out with the algorithm. And then follow me over on YouTube and Twitter at Birdman778. I hope you guys really enjoyed this season so far. I've been liking it so much. I'm probably going to be trying out some other games here a little bit soon on the channel, but really kind of cranking through a few more of these builds for y'all so you're able to take advantage of them. But until then, know you have a great night, day, or whatever it may be.